Welcome to Trion's Realm. Today we're going to take a look at Skylanders Imaginators for the Nintendo Switch. Now this game marks an interesting first for the Nintendo Switch. On top of it being a launch title from back in March of 2017, the game is also the first Nintendo Switch title that as of now is 100% physical only. That's right, there's absolutely no option to get or play this digitally on the Nintendo Switch. You have to own a cartridge in order to play it. Now I know a lot of people may scoff at the Skylanders series and knock it off as a little kiddie thing, but in all honesty, it is an actually really good series that plays quite well. I often describe it as kind of a Diablo light. Now they added platforming elements as the series went on, so this has kind of a mix of the Diablo style hack and slash with some light, say Mario style 3D platforming. Now while it's difficult to find exact information because Activision won't share how big the file size is, my research has led me to believe that this comes on a 16 gigabyte cartridge. The current version is 1.1.1 and has an additional patch size of 432 megabytes. Now this is primarily some performance improvements, so it's not exactly 100% required in order to play, but still recommended given its small size. Now I know one of the first things that people recoil at is the fact that the game uses not only the toys, but also portals in order to get the toys into the game. The Switch is actually a unique case for this particular version of the game, as there is no portal required. Portal won't even work with the system. What they did was they altered the game so that it would actually use the NFC scanner that's built into the Switch that is normally used for amiibos. Now this raises a further question when it comes to the game. Most people who've played Skylanders are used to having to swap the characters on and off the portal and it won't run unless they're there. And you couldn't very well have this game playing on the Switch while having to continuously hold the character on the controller. So the way that it works is, you go into the pause menu and there's an option in there for scanning in your characters. And when you do this, it'll take a minute, but once the character scans in, you no longer have to have the character there. You can just continue playing. Makes it very ideal for if you're on the go. And what's more, much like the 3DS games, specifically the later ones in the Skylanders series, you have an option to actually store multiple characters in the game file. This means that once you have the characters that you want scanned into the game, you don't need the toys. Now the way to do this is that when you scan the character in the first time, you can go ahead and play, but when you go into the menu to actually switch characters, you'll see that their portrait is actually grayed out. All you have to do is scan the same character in a second time and it'll actually get stored on the file. This means that while you're playing, if you have someone like Bowser or Crash or Spyro and you've scanned them in twice and their portrait is now lit up, you can switch them on the fly without the toys. This is a really cool feature, and it's a shame that Activision went and drove this series into the ground and didn't actually give it a chance to flourish and become a much bigger thing. Now, if you have played this game on something like, say, the Wii U version did have the ability to race the tracks from Skylanders Superchargers, which was a game that came out before. They just included all the tracks on here. That feature has apparently been removed from the Switch version because the way that it worked is that you would have to have the vehicle and a character linked in at the same time, and you can't really do that with the Switch. So the additional racetracks are not on the Switch version, but everything else is here and fully playable. It's a great two-player co-op game to boot. If you can get your hands on it, I would honestly recommend this game. It plays well, has a fun little story, and it's actually pretty enjoyable. Not to mention, it has a difficulty selector that you can change on the fly. So you can scale it down real easy if you want to play with the kids, or if you're looking for a real challenge, you can actually scale it up and have the enemies do a lot more damage and make the game tougher overall. Sadly, due to this being physical only, and Activision apparently not caring about the series anymore, it's actually gotten quite tough to get a hold of physically. But if you're a physical Switch collector, and you have any interest in this series, it's a good game. Not only that, if you have the proper toys, or a friend who has them, this game will literally let you play as Spyro, Crash, Dr. Cortex, Bowser, and Donkey Kong all in the same game. Which I don't know about you, but I think is pretty damn cool. What are your feelings on the Skylanders series? Do you like Imaginators? Have you played it? What did you think of it? please share in the comments down below. If this video helped you out and you'd like to see more, please subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.